Are you looking for professional broadcasting on a budget? How about broadcast with colorful commentary, guest commentators, and after-race interviews? Do your league branding and social media graphics need a facelift? Custom results and series graphics looking like a fifth grader did them? Event organization taking up way too much of your time? Engage GTCtv and let us help you show the world your events.
Welcome everyone to ENVY Simsports GT Sprint Series European Challenge, presented by Triple Stint, Coach Dave Academy, and also SimGrid, presented to you by GTCtv. I'm your host, Fry, and I think we're down for a 60-minute race with my buddy Pix. So I was scared that this one was a 90-minute race, and I forget the schedule, because I do forget to check things. So we are in for 60 minutes of Magny Cours, and I have not seen this track before. This is actually the first time I have seen this layout. The GT3 lap record 136.215 by Emmanuel Coulthard in a Mercedes AMG GT3 Evo back in 2022. Really interested to get to know this track. I have no idea about elevation changes, twists, turns, so a lot of us might be learning together today. I see it go around the track. And as we've seen in the first couple series, the rain has just played havoc on everyone. And I'm not sure if we're supposed to get rain today. I know I said last time it wasn't going to rain, and then guess what? It rained the whole race to the end. So we're not going to try to predict the weather today. We're going to see what we got. At the moment, looks like we have sunny conditions, but we're not going to hold our breath as we saw it change last time. What did y'all do to my avatar? That is me on the far left, Mr. Fry, with a just absolutely chiseled chin.
Yes, sir.
Just chiseled out of just stone. Always with my 5 o'clock shadow, of course. Thank you, Pix, for the new avatar, and at least now I got my Jason Statham looking hair.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, really matches my ears, and I'm sure Mr. Etan Benares is getting a absolute just love of that right now. Hope he's laughing, hope he's watching. He's the one that always makes this all possible for all of us, and we're always glad to bring you guys the fun racing that we're about to embark on. I think everybody's qualifying right now. We're at round 3, Magny Cours. Round 4 will be Zolder. I don't believe I'm familiar with that track either, but very familiar with the Hockenheimring, the Zandpoort, which I absolutely love the banks on that track. The Hungaroring is always just absolute fun. To me, that and round 5 are about the same. Those tracks are so equal. And I've never seen Algarve International. And I can't wait just for, as I like to call it, Spain, Circuit de Barcelona.
Yeah,
That chicane's going to play so much havoc at the end.
Magny Cours was in an older game. I don't remember which one was it. I don't remember if it was Project Cars or older. One of those Toka racing. Did you ever do any of those Toka driver or Toka racing, something like that?
Nah, not much was into those. I mean, there's a chance I played it, drove the track, and don't even remember it.
Yeah.
That's a possibility. But played a lot of racing games over the days, but I always wanted the full sim. I really never liked the arcade style. And a lot of games were kind of made for that. But look at our points battle after 2 rounds. That's a little tight right now. Mr. Newhey looked like he was absolutely going to just run away with the series after race 1. I mean, that was a dominant performance. But race 2, we did not see the domination. We saw that from Retro. He definitely enjoyed the track and the rain. We definitely know he likes the rain, so he's always hoping it's going to rain. Renner, McClellan, Diltz, not too far behind. So still plenty of time. Long season. And that's the AM standings. Same battle. Sierra just one ahead of Lance. Rise, Sims, and Watson still trailing a little bit behind. We got to see some of these guys. That's right. Smidra had trouble in his race. So look for Smidra to be he's pretty fast. So there's no reason he should be that far back. So look for him to make a run to the front. And look at Chris Ball sitting in top 10 right now. Look at that. In the top 10 standings in the AM class. And he's gotten better each race. So we keep telling him this is his race. He's going to finish in the top 10 of the AM class in this race because he's gotten closer and closer each race. So you see, now that he's given up his little Friday duties in the booth, he's starting to learn a little more of these what we call driving skills. We love you, Chris. Oh, well, I swear, man, the sim just loves to play jokes on us, so we won't have a track map. But hey, I've done a whole race with no timing and kept track of it pretty good. So, you know, we can power through. We got the some of the tools to get it done anyway. Oh, and Chris Rise, if you can hear me, we can't see your camera. I think you have like some kind of receiving or shipping or some kind of handling thing going on. We can't even pull up a black screen. So not sure if it's our end, your end, what's going on, but we'd love to show you. Just put the camera like right in front of you so we can just see your face the whole time. Oh, somebody just ate it. And it was not Chris. And Chris has also turned me off so he can't hear me, even though I like to yell at him when he's going through corners and tell him to wave and stuff. I think right now everybody's qualifying, or the AMs, that's right, the AMs go out first to start their qualifying. It's 15 minutes, they get about 7 minutes. Pros will come out after the AMs. However, for the start of the race, everyone is mixed together. There is no separation of AM and Pro. Wherever you qualify in the overall grid is where you will start. And lately, we haven't been getting a lot of full lap warm-up laps. They kind of just get that last, maybe like even call it a third sector if they're getting that much. They really don't get much time to kind of warm the car up and get themselves ready. It's almost like just a full grid start. So either the AMs are finishing up or people are having fun, one of the two. I do see some clouds off in the distance. Not sure if we will see rain. With drivers, I guess we're warned that the European Series would have a little more rain than the American Challenge, which was last series. And I was a little disappointed. I mean, we had no rain in the American Series. Like, gotta at least have one track. I mean, it does rain a lot on the East and West Coast, and, it just depends on the time of year. It was a lot of partly cloudy, sunny conditions. I know most of the drivers are going to be really happy for those kind of conditions today, except for, a handful of drivers that do like the wet conditions and seem to benefit from that. Hi, Chris. Apparently he might be listening to us this time. Well, maybe it'll change it up. It'll help him out if he listens to the sexy tone of my voice the entire time. That's just going to drive him to the finish.
Yeah, I would assume that would be helpful, yeah.
Let's go to, can we get like some out of the car view? Yeah, much better. I don't even like driving in the in-car view, let alone being in it for too long. This is more of you know, if you know the sim that you play, if it has the options to do so. In iRacing, you are stuck in that car. It's as real life as it gets, so they're not gonna let you get out. But if you're like me, you play on GT7, you want to play on a controller, this is the view you have to drive in. It's just if you can see the car, you can feel the car. So it's so hard for me to get in the car and have that same feel. Also, it's just so much easier to be able to see. I see you, Chris, looking at us, trying to see where he ends up. Did we lose our overall board as well? Okay. All right, you're scaring me over here. Thank you. Don't know where anybody's sitting.
We have a couple new drivers, and I was not informed if they are pro or am. So I'm trying to look for them, and I found out both of them are am. So that's why.
So we got a few more AM drivers trying to play spoiler to Chris's top 10 dreams. As he is going to try to finish all the way in the top 10. I think his last one, didn't he finish? I think he got 12th. It was 11th or 12th. I know he was right there, and the race before that was 14th. So he's got his work cut out for him, I think, on this place. I'll definitely be learning about this track in the next hour. Looks pretty flat. Not seeing a lot of elevation change. Definitely got some long straightaways and slow hairpin corners. So that is a recipe for fun. Renner right now, I think, holding the top spot. Newhey in second, Nickerson in third, Jeffries fourth, Alvarez fifth. All pros. And then it's just so weird how 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, all are AMs. Morgan Smith now ruining the party. Jumps up to 8th in the pro class. So I think Parrott is one of our new guys. I don't recognize that name. Right now sitting on 6th place, top of the AM class. Terrell Lance in 7th. Morgan Smith jumps to 8th. Chris Rise in 9th. And is it Jaquan? Is that Jaqueen or Jaquan? Or Jaquin? Because the 10th place. Because I think Joaquin, yeah, that is got to be one of the new drivers because I don't recognize that name either. So we have new names that I get to butcher. You guys love doing this to me every week as I power through. I think most of you get a kick out of it. Oh, Chris Ball way in 16th. All right, he's trying to play the numbers game. We saw this last time. We were at Monza, and we saw half of the field sit in the pits because everyone had the strategy of I'm not going to go through turn 1 in the middle of the pack. I'm just going to sit back, let everybody crash or do whatever they're going to do, and then we're all just going to move on. And to everyone's surprise, except for mine, because these guys are pros. Of course, they're going to make it. There was not a crash. So we saw a lot of guys making their way to the front from the back. So I don't see too many people sitting it out on this one. I think a lot of people have just put in what they feel is their fastest lap. They can't go any quicker, so they're just going to sit back. All right, Chris, your goal is to gain 7 positions. You must gain 7 positions. We will all have to stay tuned to see if he can do it. Trying to see if anybody has picked a new car after 2 rounds. Looks like everybody's still in the same car. They get 1 car change during the season. Anytime that they feel they want to try to switch up a manufacturer to a better car, faster car, more comfortable car, they get 1 selection. So you got to make it count. And once you make that pick, you cannot go back to your original car. So be careful about your car choice. We all know which one I would recommend. The classic Mustang, as I like to call it, the OP car in every situation. That's just because I like it. That's a personal bias. But we have a few McLarens, a few Porsches. I think somebody was brave enough to drive the Lambo. And here we go. So 66 degrees. That's not, it's a nice little breezy day. Probably a little overcast. It says partly cloudy, but we might see a little more clouds. 84% humidity. That is a lot of humidity, which is a recipe for rain. So we'll see what happens. 9 miles an hour wind, so if it shows up, it probably won't blow through too quickly. That's a lie. Commentary is not done by Chris Ball. He will be driving a Ford Mustang from 16th place, trying to make his way all the way up to a top 10 finish. Personal best if he can do it. Chris just joined this series so that he could get a little more track time and a little less commentary time. And he's been making vast improvements. So it shows when you get on track, you start making ground pretty quickly. Looks like Ricky Renner will lead us off. Alberto Alvarez in second. I cannot talk today. Elder Newhey in third. Michael Jeffries in fourth. Nathan Nickerson in fifth. Guillermo Parrott in sixth. Terrell Lance in seventh. Morgan Smith is eighth. Chris Rise in ninth. And Caleb Joaquin in 10th. Javi Sierra in 11th. Juan Rodriguez in 12th. Steve Susana 13th. Jakub Fury in 14th. Jamie Fleming 15th. Chris Ball in 16th. Aaron Siebens in 17th. Joseph Kronk in 18th, Mr. Consistency. Jack Clark in 19th, and Tyler Watson is 20th. Last two with no time. Looks like they decided to just kind of sit in the pits. So we had a few takers this time, not half the grid like last time, but it's always a smart decision. If you're a little iffy on the race, maybe you want to just stay out of trouble. Just stay in the pits. Let everybody go, and you can have your own race. We've seen it in a lot of different sims. You start in the back. You let half of everybody wreck and move up. And these are what everyone is fighting for. The GT3 and GT3 Pro and Am. Both looking for a nice little trophy. And of course, 2 lucky drivers will receive $15 off for iRacing gift card, which can go for cars, tracks, and all kinds of, I think, decals. And they kind of get you for everything, but every little bit helps. And first, second, and third all get trophies. So we've got 6 trophies going out at the end of the season. And of course, as you saw, the close points race at the start. Right now, with only 2 rounds done, we've got a 1-point lead in both Pro and Am classes, with not everyone too far behind. But we'll see how this race works out. Race 1 was a lot of, okay, yeah, this guy's fast, he's going to dominate. And race 2 was all those people from race 1 were now in the back. People were making their way up. So this is going to be interesting. Couple new drivers today. See how they kind of fare with everyone playing spoiler. Little dark out, little foggy out. Not seeing much rain. I think we're going to, should I go out on a limb and just say we're going to have dry conditions? Because I think we're going to have dry conditions. But
yeah, I mean, yeah. You're not betting, so at least guessing it's.
We saw what happened when I said that last time.
Yeah.
It was sunny conditions. I even said it's not going to rain at all. As soon as they even switched over the sim to the race mode, instant rain and just poured forever. So I will not be a weatherman anytime soon at all. I will stick to my little booth area here. I think that's so cool the way when everyone's packed together that it lights up the track that much. And I don't think it's like dark where they can't see. The fog's probably not helping. but traction might be a bit of an issue. Only 66 degrees. But yeah, a little humid out, but yeah, nothing too dark. Just have the lights on, which can be kind of distracting at that point. Rather almost just have them off. I can see, right? I don't know how we already have a boatload of gravel on the track, because they haven't even gone through there yet. Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe like, when they knew they were done, or maybe somebody messed up and they just plowed through all the rocks right there, because that was a lot. And that was all the way to the other side. Or they're in there doing donuts, just spreading rocks all over the track. Because I'm pretty sure your car resets so you could, destroy that thing. Look at all those rocks on the outside of that corner. I think a lot of people went off in practice and probably qualifying. You can see a little bit on the inside as well. So yeah, not much elevation change at this place. Seems pretty flat. I mean, you can see them kind of coming down a hill now, but it doesn't look like we're going to be climbing a mountain. The place seems pretty fast, except for the few hairpin corners they're going to have to go around. We're all going to enjoy those hairpin corners. I think some of the drivers might be happy as long as they're alone.
Green flag.
Here we go, getting ready to go green. Lights are on. That was a quick green start. They didn't make them wait. The last two races, they've made them wait. Renner is battling with Alvarez. Alvarez, I think, just went by. We just saw half the field go off in turn one. Everybody coming back on, a little contact. Oh, that is why we saw so many rocks all over the track. Everybody's getting back on pretty cleanly. Renner out front right now in front of Newhey. Jeffries in third. Nickerson in fourth. Lance, Rise, and Susanna right behind them. Everybody side by side, not single filed, going through the hairpin. Oh, traction is a massive issue going through that hairpin. So hard to get back on the throttle and get it to stick. Newhey now takes the lead over Renner. Jeffries in third. Nickerson still in fourth. Fleming battling it out with Rodriguez and Sierra. So careful to go through every corner, trying to get the tires warmed up, trying to get grip in them. I'm not sure. I didn't see too much swerving as everybody was lining up. They kind of stayed double file coming to the start. Might have wanted to warm up the tires just a little bit more if they could. Knew he's starting to spread a gap over Renner. Jeffrey still in third. Nickerson in fourth. Lance, Susanna, Rise following behind them. So it looks like a little chaos going into turn one. I saw at least 6 cars go just straight into the gravel, including our second place driver. Looking for him now to see where he fell back to. Alvarez is all the way back in 13th place after starting second, after going off in the first turn. Might have had a few more issues after he got back in traffic. Again, dark, foggy conditions, probably not helping out too much in that. Yeah, I knew he's starting to pull away a little bit now. Renner still in second, holding off Jeffries. Jeffries starting to fall back a little bit down from Nickerson. So we're getting a little bit of a gap between our top 4 or 5 drivers. And working things out here in the back. Morgan Smith has gone from 8th back down to 11th. Alvarez has dropped from 2nd to 13th. Fury is right now, I think, is our biggest mover. It was starting almost down in 15th place, has jumped up to 9th. Oh, somebody is around. Alberto Alvarez is around again. That's the Lambo, isn't it? Yeah, he's in the Lambo. He has got he got hit. He has got a lot of damage to the rear of that car. The back tire's not even turning. He's going to need to fast tow quickly. We'll see what happened here to Alberto Alvarez. There's nobody behind. Well, I mean, they're far back behind him. Looks like he's going to try to make a move. Thinks better of it. Uh-oh. Oh, looks like the Mercedes was very late on the brakes. Either maybe didn't think he was going to make the corner or he was diving the corner, one of the two. So Alberto takes a massive shot right in the right rear tire. Looks like it's damaged the tire. He's going to need to fast tow back, and having a catastrophic start to the race. Oh, that is just a heartbreak. I mean, that was second place, and it all began with him going off in turn one into the gravel, which then sent him back into the pack, where it seems to just always happen when you start up front and drop to the back, that you just find yourself in chaos. Mr. Rodriguez needs to not play with his car as far as his paint scheme goes right before the race. It's always good to have that done the day before. Speak of the devil. No! Oh, trying not to hit somebody and wrecks himself. Stays out of the gravel, though. At least he stayed out of the gravel. That's going to help out. So we see two of our guys that had... I don't know if Alberto was here. I know he had a pretty good race last round. Rodriguez was our winner from last race, so he's now taking himself out. He'll look to come back at least. Still has 55 minutes to get something done, so if you're going to have trouble, have it early. Hopefully you can gain a lot of spots and keep your nose clean. Everybody else will have some trouble. You can get back up at the start of the race. He right now was pulling out to a little bit of a gap, but he is now getting chased back down. Sierra and Fury are going at it. That is some curb hopping if I've ever seen it. These two battling has allowed two more to get up. Wow, jumping to the inside. Sierra is just dropping back. I think he's now lost 2 spots from that battling. It's got Joaquin. Is it Joaquin? I can't say it right. Why can't I say that name right? Yeah, we're just going to call him Caleb. I cannot say that name today. I don't know what it is. It's a Friday. That's all I got. It's been a week. So Caleb right now behind Fleming. Sierra looks like he's just now retaking a spot back that he lost. He's going to look to chase down Fury, which is the original spot that he lost. Parrot's still in 12th. Uh-oh. Chris has made the highlight reel. Oh, hold on to your hat, folks. Oh, he went gravel hunting. Oh, Chris, that is not helping your top 10 venture, my friend. That is not helping out at all. I'm pretty sure he did not get damaged, though. He hit it soft enough. He probably got a little fender bender on that one. Morgan Smith has dropped way back as well. Oh, here comes Chris Rise. Never good when you get replays. Oh, that's not bad. He held on to that one. We'll put that at the bottom of the highlight reel. Oh no, here goes Morgan Smith. So this is why Morgan, yep, same spot. At least he didn't follow him. Probably waited till the next lap, or maybe they were far enough apart. Oh, we're going replay to replay. Man, there's so many of them all back to back. Here comes Fury. And we just saw this battle. Oh, just small contact. Oh, we had just watched that battle. And now we see the Sierra goes off right behind him. So all that work that these guys are doing right now, they're just losing it in a couple corners here and there. And I think that traction, these cloudy, foggy, dark conditions are not allowing a lot of heat to build in these tires, which is, kind of strange. I mean, this place has long straightaways, hairpin corners, and it also has a mixture of fast corners where they're, sort of doing a little throttle control through each corner. So it's very strange that they're not building too much tire temp. Either that or they're just mashing it off the throttle and or off the corner, and that's just not helping, because that's mostly looks like what we're seeing. You definitely want the car to rotate a little better. Newhey right now out front. Renner is on his tail. They have got a 9-second gap out front of Nickerson right now. These two are just battling it out. Jeffries is right behind Nickerson, so a right now two-way battle, but Lance is kind of sitting back watching these guys, kind of being patient. We've seen Lance be very patient this series. He seems to be doing a lot better. I still don't understand why he jumped out of his beloved BMW to drive that Porsche, but he seems to be doing a little better in the Porsche. You should jump in the Mustang, Lance. It's there for you. It's better. Steve Susanna is in 6th right now. Chris Rise 7th. Caleb in 8th. Jamie Fleming in 9th, and new guy Parrott is in 10th. So I think he's our top. Oh no, right now Caleb's our top new guy. So Caleb and Parrott, the new people that are having a pretty good run today, both in the top 10. Rodriguez working his way back to 11th. Stevens, Clark, Fury, all in a kind of little battle here toward the back. Man, Sierra has just had a rough race, though. He has dropped so far back, all the way to 15th now. Had a top 10 going, but still 50 minutes to go. Long race. Probably gonna see at least one pit stop. I always battle with these guys on the tires, how much they're gonna take. We've seen guys just take like a right rear and stuff, or lefts and rights, fronts and rears. They just kind of switch up however they want to do it. So sometimes we'll see like 2 tire stops. The fuel has always been the strategy. I think they start with like 70%, or it might change per race. But how much you can fuel save and how fast you can run the car without losing that momentum is really going to come into play on a track like this that looks like you've got a lot of throttle off. You can't save fuel trying to go fast down a straightaway, but you can let off way before that corner, which is probably going to help out. So still a two-way battle out front, Newhey and Renner. And here's where we start to guess who's faster, who's controlling the pace, who's just kind of sitting back waiting. Is one driver faster in half of the track than the other? I don't even think they're using the track down the front straightaway, it looks like. It's just all the way into the green. And from every sim I've ever driven, that green stuff is absolutely slippery. I don't know what that stuff is. Just make it grass. That has more grip than the green stuff. So I guess they're getting traction on it, but I am not a fan of ever even touching that stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is, what it's made of or what it's supposed to be. But yeah, I seem to get more traction in the dirt. He seems like he's having a little better lap this go around. Renner's starting to drop back just a little bit. Jeffries has got a small gap over Nickerson. Lance about the same. All about 2-second gaps back to Chris Rise in 7th. Wow, Alvarez has now gone a lap down. We might have an epic battle on track right now as Joseph Crunk is hunting down Chris Ball. And Sierra still working his way back up to the front, trying to pass 4 cars that he was already in front of, which is just heartbreaking as a driver. If you know you're faster, but you don't want to, it's not their fault you had an incident. You don't want to be rude to them, but you really want them to get out of your way. And they don't like to do that. at all. It's their position. Nuhi has now just jumped up to a second gap. So he is definitely putting some time on. Let's go check out this Chris Ball, Joseph Crunk battle. I got to see if Mr. Crunk is catching him. There's Chris Ball with his little beaten up Ford Mustang. Come on, Joseph, you can get him. Run him down. Just focus, hit your marks. You can see him, you can feel him. Just reach out and grab him. Chris is still trying to... Whoa, Sierra goes off again. Oh, that was a tangle up. We got to get that one on replay. It looks like we're... Stewards might be a little busy after this one. You know who's glad he's not a steward? Me! Yes. Oh my God, dude. They are going at it this round. We'll see what happened here. I mean, Sierra's all by himself. Oh, we got a car coming back on. Oh, that's not good. Who was that? Like it might have been Siebens. You know, and as far as, you know, yep, Siebens goes off. And Sierra, you know, you're just committed to going through the corner. So there's not much time that you have to hit the brakes or turn in tight or anything like that. Once you commit to a corner, making it a certain way, you just kind of have to commit and go. But Sierra might be getting a little issue there with unsafe re-entry. But we'll see what happens. We'll let the stewards figure that out. That's what they like to do. I don't like to do it when I have to do it. I like when everyone just has a perfectly clean race because we're all great drivers, right? That's what we like to do. Crunk's very red car. I don't know why his picture is showing up with like extremely red tires. Going like futuristic on us. Joseph's still a guy that comes out. Always appreciate him coming out. Shows up. Yeah, he runs toward the back. We've seen him jump a few places when people have trouble, so you never know. But he gets better each race, and he commits. So we always give him a kudos for that. Oh, what happened to Mr. Lance? Oh, that's not bad. He just ran wide. Of course, that allowed a couple cars to really close in on his tail end. He's got a little bit of that gap back now. These two are pushing pretty hard. It's Terrell Lance, Susanna, Chris Rise. All right now, your top AM drivers. So they're battling out for a overall top 5 finishing position and top of the AM class. So a lot of points on the line for this little 3-way battle right here. And it looks like Lance will get it if he can keep the pace up, but we have not seen a lot of clean driving so far. And right now, I think the track is taking care of people most than hitting each other. Still 45 minutes to go. Nuhi out front by 1.5. Renner's going to have to try to make up some time somewhere. Rodriguez working on one of our new guys, Parrott. Haven't seen much of him so far today. Kind of hard to see the liveries. I'd love to give him a little shout out, but it's so foggy it's hard to see him. Even hard to see the mirrors. I can't even tell between the pros and the AMs. Which, didn't they say they're not even like required to do that, but I think everyone just does. Or they may be required to do it.
No, I think a couple of people got a warning from the previous races.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
yeah, there was one series we did where it wasn't required or it's not required, and yeah, everybody's just so used to, you know, doing it. They always just, what's like force a habit. Yeah, that's why most people, when you don't have them on there, it's like, really, that's the one thing you forgot? Rodriguez putting the pressure all over Parrott at the moment. Uh-oh. Susanna has jumped in front of Lance. I think Lance might have had a little bit of a slip up. Because he was starting to get a pretty good gap. He had about 0.8 of a gap built up. Yeah, he has definitely gone a little wide in a corner. Yeah, you see he's got a little 0.8 gap right there. Keeps it out of the gravel. Oh, that was a pass. Oh, that was awesome. So Steve Susanna just put the moves on Terrell Lance, and right now is your AM leader, currently running in the top 5 overall. Terrell Lance now close behind. Chris Rise on his behind. We got 10 seconds back to Caleb. And I think, Rodriguez is about 5 or 6 seconds behind him. So a little gap behind these guys. So this is kind of a, if they can hold it this way for the duration of the race, they're going to have a 3-way battle for top of the AM class and also top 5 finishing spot. Always got to get a top 5, right? I knew he still just kind of gets out a little bit ahead of Renner. Just kind of gains like a 10th here and a 10th there. And for Renner, it's just frustrating because you're like right there, but he's driving away. Renner is using up some curves. Now right here, I mean, they're not even using the front straightaway. Look at that. The whole way down, they do not touch the front straightaway. I mean, what's the track limits? Come on. Gotta at least use the track at some point. Lance now under pressure from Rise. Rise is tucked in right behind him. I think Rise also went with the Lamborghini. We got a few drivers switching out to the Lamborghini. I think we only had like one driver in the last race that picked it. Let's see the Lambo. I know it ain't a McLaren. I don't even see a McLaren. We lost Mr. Watson after one lap. So that was, you know what? I don't think I've had to say this in, God, I don't know how many races. The lone McLaren? Really? The lone McLaren. I don't think I've ever had to say that. Ferrari out front, Porsche in second, BMW running third, another Porsche, and I think the lone Corvette in Steve Susanna. I didn't see anybody else running the Corvette.
Yeah.
But sometimes trying to pick between a McLaren and a Corvette without seeing the tail lights is a little challenging. 2 Acuras from Fleming and Sierra. So maybe it's the Acura that I'm mistaken for the Lambo. Alvarez is in the Lambo making a first pit stop at 21-minute mark. Not sure, maybe he picked up some more damage. So yeah, I haven't seen people run the Acura before. So that one caught me off. I thought it was the Lamborghini, but that's the Acura. And then we've also got, I think only one BMW, a couple Ferraris. Not a lot of Mustangs. Right now, Chris is our top Mustang driver. Has worked his way back up to 14th. Put a little time on Joseph Crunk. Yeah, you can't see him. There he is right there in the background. He's put a little time on him, not too much. Fury is in the Audi. And didn't we see more Audis in the first race? So that people had to have changed cars. Because I know I saw like 2 or 3 Audis.
Yeah, I think so. For today, it's only Jakub and Morgan Smith.
Yeah, no Morgan Smith was one that jumped. But I swear we saw like 3 or 4 guys that had jumped, so maybe they've already used their one car switcheroo, if you will. Of course, Newhey right now with the fastest lap. Not sure if that's worth an extra point, but I mean, I won it anyway, right? Like, that's just bragging rights. You know, clean race, fastest lap, started on pole, you know. Which, yeah, I think knew he started on pole. Or no, Renner started on pole. So Newhey, Renner, Jeffries, Nickerson. No real changes in your top four. They're kind of spaced out. Susanna, Lance, and Rise. That was close. Parrot is, I want to say the lone Mercedes, but I think there's two Mercedes in here. Oh no, so he is the lone Mercedes. I mean, me personally, I would never choose a Mercedes, but you know, I'd rather drive a Porsche. Let's see, Jack Clark. Moving up to 11th. Is that, yeah, that was Chris Rise that he just passed.
Yeah, he was coming out of the pits.
Oh, okay. So we're seeing pit stops 21 minutes. So, I mean, a lot of times we see one pit stop races. A lot of guys will pit 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, stuff like that. Usually toward middle, toward end, something like that. But we have seen that early strategy work, where people come in early. They know you make it to a certain point in the race, you can fill up a certain amount of fuel, you can make it to the end. You don't have to come in, fill the tank all the way up, stuff like that. So they can strategize their fuel. Sometimes that can work out for track position. If it can drop you back into open track, you get by everyone once they're starting to make their pit stops. It's like Rise has now gotten back around Clark. He'll start to try to make his way back to the front, waiting for everyone else to make their stops. Once everyone has come in, they'll cycle all back around. Now we'll see between Susanna, Lance, and Rise. Rise right now, I think, is the only one that has made the stop out of the top 6, 7. So everybody's starting to kind of cycle around. You know, but if he gets open track and somebody else is, oh no, Chris is, I mean, he has ripped the front end off that car. Oh, he is going to have to go in. Oh, Chris, we feel for you. Joseph Kronk is in the pits. Jakob Fury is going to follow him in as well. So, yeah, a lot of pit stops starting to happen now. Chris is definitely going to come in the pits because he's got a lot of stuff to fix on that car. He might be in there for a minute. Same spot. Same spot. And we don't have our track map, so do we have the track map? Because it's kind of hard to see. There we go. What corner is that he keeps doing that on? Because we only get that one camera angle, and it's really hard to see where that is. I'm trying to look at it on the track. It's a big turn in. Yeah, it's a right to left. So somewhere where it's going right to left, he is not happy about that. Yeah, that fast right to left. Now, you know, when you're driving a Mustang and that weight shifts, it shouldn't be an issue, but right there, it's caught him and a few other drivers out today trying to make that right to left just absolutely work for him. Really struggling to make it work. Got to be like turn 4 or 5. Whoa, somebody just went around. Susanna is around. So Susanna has now just lost 5th place and the overall AM lead. Has not made a stop yet. Terrell Lance will now retake his 5th place. Susanna is in 6th. Juan Rodriguez. I told you I cannot talk today. Juan Rodriguez is in 7th. Parrott 8th. Caleb in 9th. And Fleming in 10th. Now, Rise is the first guy that has pit. I'm pretty sure that Fleming, Caleb, Parrott, and Rodriguez have not stopped yet. Yeah, pretty much I think our top 10 has not pit. 11th is our first guy to make a stop. See, look at that. I keep track pretty well without even having that little graphic on. Now, I'm surprised Clark has not stopped yet. That's going to drop him a little bit further back. I thought maybe he had already stopped, so that might be detrimental to his race. Well, let's see what happened to Steve Susanna going into the corner, just carrying way too much speed. And the back end just snapping around. And we have seen that a lot today. But, hey, good job getting in the grass. Nice, safe re-entry coming back on. Not losing too much time. But right now, and now Terrell Lance has just gone off. He has gone wide on a corner. They cannot decide who wants to be the top AM guy today. Let's take a quick look before we look away too far again. Terrell Lance coming out. I think he comes into the tight hairpin. I'm not sure how wide he went, but yeah, he missed that corner. That is a complete, just did not make it. Yeah, slowest corner on the track, going around the hairpin, getting back on. But he does survive, so Lance right now still out front of Susanna. Susanna's not even in the background anymore. I think that's him that far back. Yep. So Steve Susanna still not too far away. He can see him, but oh man, he had a good lead over Terrell Lance before that happened.
There's your bottle.
I think our okay, we've got Chris Ball catching Joseph Crunk. All right, Joseph, don't let him pass you. Make that car nice and wide. Swerve down the straightaway. It'll makes it faster. Honk your horn at him. Now, see, you know what? Maybe that's what it is. Joseph's running on the actual track down the straightaway, and everyone else is running in the green stuff. So maybe we need to tell Joseph to move his line out there. Don't just let him by, Joseph. No! Good pass, Chris. Good pass. Joseph let you have it, so, you know, it was a good pass. Now, Terrell Lance reassuming his top AM position. Steve Susanna is going to try to do some damage control, but it looked like he just went off in the background back there. I think Susanna, somebody went around. You know, Fury went off, but it looked like we had a little 3-4 cars just like jumping away out of position, trying to avoid something. So Fleming's now made his stop. Sierra, Fury, Chris might need to make another one. Joseph back in 16th now. Stevens in 17th. Everybody's made a stop, so we'll see how long all these top leaders stay in. I heavily doubt we're going to see Jeffries and Nickerson really make up a lot of time, but the real question is Renner. Is he saving fuel, or is Newhey just saving fuel and he's that good and now he's going to have another dominant race again? So many questions to figure out and only 29 minutes to find the answers to those questions. Clark, yeah, still, man, he's in 11th and he still has not made his stop. So look for Fleming, Sierra, and Fury, Chris Ball, Joseph Cronk to all gain a spot. Once he comes in, they've all made their stops so far. But you never know. Maybe Clark can get some free track space and run away. Michael Jeffries, haven't talked much about him today. Just come in kind of quietly running in third. I know Nickerson's right there behind him. Not too close to really give him a headache, but close enough he'll keep checking that mirror to make sure he's not getting any closer. Working on a nice podium today. Final podium position. Nickerson, I'm sure, would like to argue about that. So is that Nickerson behind him, or is that Sierra? Oh, that was Sierra. Yeah, it was Sierra behind him. Nickerson's quite a ways back. So yeah, our top two are pretty close together, but that's right there. That's Jeffries in the shot. You got Sierra behind him, who's probably already made his stop. He's waiting on everybody else to make theirs once they circle back around. Not sure what the time is, total time for the pit stop versus the track time. Not sure how much ground you actually lose on track. But it looks. Yeah, it's pretty close. 15, 23, depends. Depends on what happens when you come out of the pits and if you slip up in a corner. I always feel like that kind of adds to your pit time. And also, folks, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends, come race with us. Always fun. As you can see, there's always different battles all over the track. Trying to get as many drivers in as we can. More drivers that we have, the more of a variety of the field that we would have. And Alvarez absolutely hates this track. I am pretty sure he's already made 2 stops, started at second place, ran turn 1 wide, went through the gravel, and that has kind of cemented his day in the misery category. But he's still here, still driving, still surviving, so we always appreciate that. But not every day goes according to plan, unfortunately. But this might be one he don't want to come back to. I mean, overall, the track is pretty good. I really like the layout. I'm not sure if it's near Transylvania, but if the sun comes out, that would be fantastic. It's a little dark and gloomy. Oh, Rodriguez now in the pits, be one of our first out of our top 9. So Rise has now moved up 1 spot since he's already made a stop. Yeah, we'll see. Rise should be overtaking Rodriguez. There he goes. So a few guys dropping back now, making their stops. If this place was going to stay that gloomy, I kind of feel like that early stop was the time to come in. But I wonder how many people are wondering, is it going to freaking rain? They didn't say it was going to rain, but last time I said it wasn't going to rain, it rained. And Nuhi, I didn't realize, man, he has jumped out to a 6-second gap right now. And then it's another 24 seconds back to Jeffries and another 10 seconds back to Nickerson. So these guys are pretty spread out across the track. Nuhi seems to like the place pretty well. I think the main... Yeah. Still trying to run fastest laps, right? I mean, this kind of the story of the race was survive turn 1, lap 1. Seeing a lot of people that went off, especially on that outside. I don't think a lot of them were forced off. I think everybody just went in too hard. Since they were on the outside, they were just closer to the gravel. Terrell Lance now in the pits, our first, or I should say our top AM driver. As he comes to a stop. Yep, tires. So he's taking some form of tires. We never know if it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. I don't think they can actually take 3 tires. I think they have to just take, lefts, rights, or fronts, or rears, or something. Yeah. That's crazy. Well, I've seen it in V8 supercars. They come in, they just change the right rear, and that's it. And, you'd be amazed how it seems to make the car handle just right. I'm a guy that really likes to put a lot of load on the front tires, so I like front tires. Usually I can make the rears last. It's just the front ones that I beat up too much. I just put so much heavy load going through corners. Wow, that was close. Wow. So Juan Rodriguez going after Sierra. Oh, Clark in front. Looks like he's going to give up kind of easily on that one. Looks like he'll give the spot to Rodriguez. Going into the hairpin. Not battling too hard for it. Might be a survival race at this point. We've still got top 6, 7. Yeah, top 7 still have to make their stop. Like I said earlier, you know, they do a 30-minute mark all the way up to the 40 to 45-minute, depending on just how much fuel they're saving. See Susanna now in the pits. Man, they don't even get pit boxes on this one. They just get a road. They don't even get pit guys. No men over the wall to change your tires.
You only see it in your game.
Oh, okay. So they get to see all the fun stuff, and we don't get it now.
Uh-huh.
For how long he was just in his box. I mean, I know he took tires, but that didn't seem like a lot of fuel going in the car. It doesn't seem like they're having to save too much fuel. So this stop isn't very long, depending on how close everybody is. Wow, Susanna coming out. Lance gonna grab the spot from him, but now they have gotten a lot closer together.
Yeah.
Lance had a much bigger gap over Susanna before they came in the stop.
Yeah, Steve's was a 14-second stop, while Terrell's was a 21-second stop.
Okay, so Susanna has taken a monster less load of fuel. So he gonna make it to the end? You know, I'll give these guys one thing. You know, they all save about the same amount of fuel. But one guy can save, you know, that 1 extra lap or 2 extra laps. I've never seen somebody save that much. Like 10 liter difference.
Yeah, and Chris Rice has already stopped, so he's our let's say virtual leader, because Guillermo still has to stop.
Yeah, so Parrott still to stop. Rise right now is the top guy who has made his stop, so he will inherit eventually. Once Parrott comes in, he will re-inherit his lead of the AM class, little flashing lights, and he wants to go. Right now, he's got about a 7-second gap over Terrell Lance. Of course, Susanna's going to stay with Lance. Those two will probably sit back there and battle. Now we are getting some live messages here. Let's see what we got. Oh, so apparently Chris is having some issues with his screen freezing in the same corner. So that's why 3 times now he's crashed in the same corner, and it's right when his car goes from the right back to the left. It doesn't seem to want to go back to the left. And that's probably what's happening, is the screen's freezing, just sending him straight into the wall. All right, so Newhe's still out. Renner, Jeffries, and Nickerson have all just made their stop. Looks like Renner's already done with his stop. He's back out. Steve Susanna still losing a little bit of time. Yeah, they're not in the pit stop very long. We'll try to get times on each one of them to see how long they each stayed in there. Parrott now making his stop. And here comes Rise. Yeah, he was about 14 seconds back. So if we see a 14-second pit stop from Parrott, he could still potentially hold on to this, or maybe just be a little bit behind Rise. We'll see when he comes out. I think he's still in the pit. Yeah, he's still in the pits. So he's sitting for a while. Gonna drop all these positions. Everyone will now move up. Chris Rise now inherits top 5, and also the AM lead as Elder Newhe has come in. We'll see the difference between he and Renner to see if Renner can possibly make any kind of dent in about a 6-second gap. Newhe definitely seems to have the speed today. It is his race to lose. see who that is he's coming out in front of. Probably a car at this point trying to fight to stay on the lead lap. But at this point, I look at I look at a lap down like this. That's one less lap I have to do. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna finish in like 11th place and I'm back there and that's just where I'm gonna finish, I call it, la la land. I don't know how most of my races end up that I'm in 4th place and I've got 15 seconds in front of me and I've got 15 seconds behind me and I'm just out there by myself. So a lot of times if I see a leader coming and somehow I'm gonna be a lap down, hey, just go, man. That's one less I gotta do, because you're gonna finish where you're gonna finish. But I would call myself a pro-am guy, but I'm probably at the bottom of that pro-am. I'm just fast enough to make it. Oh, somebody had an issue. Woo! Sierra almost makes contact. Try to see who that is. Jack Clark has had a bit of an issue going off. I think the bump might have got him maybe, or just too far out. It's like just a little too far, too hard, I guess. I don't even know. It just looks like in that particular corner, we've seen multiple cars just lose the back end, just going around. He looked like he might have went in a little hard, but that was not astronomical. That was just kind of feathering. Jack Clark back to 13th. Sierra now in 12th. Sierra, who was running all the way up in that 5th, 6th, 7th battle, has just had a, I guess, traumatic second half of the race. I know he's had a few spins, and I think the track kind of reached out and bit him. But right now we've got 4 pro drivers. The rest are AM drivers, and they're all in front of 3 pro drivers right now. So we might have to just make this like an all-pro series. We'll just let everybody be pro now, because I don't think our AMs are that slow. And there's no pro-am class, so you pretty much get to be either AM or top notch. Caleb in the lone Mercedes. Starting to see a little bit of sunshine come out, not much. Whatever can kind of pierce through the clouds and also get through the fog. I noticed the fog hasn't lifted, getting a little bit of sun right there. Look at that. He is full in the green. Full in the green, not even touching the red and white. I need some track limits on this one. They probably don't have any either. Probably a very forgiving track. I know as drivers, we like those tracks. We don't like the one that's you touch the white line and you got an 8-second penalty going in the pits. Hello, mental health. How are you today? Hope you're enjoying the race so far. I guess Chris's screen is freezing up, so he will not be conquering his top 10 today. I don't think Renner's gotten any closer to Newhey. I think Newhey... Did he even have a long pit stop, or did he have a short one? Oh, wow. So unless Renner was in there for like 10 seconds, he's really not gaining much. Okay, so some of our top pro guys, they've been saving a little more fuel than some of our guys in the back. And it's amazing, but it's also frustrating to see that they can run the car that fast, save that much fuel. Some days we feel happy. We're like, oh, I'm as fast as he is. I'm keeping up, and then you realize he's got like 3 to 4 or 5 laps more fuel than you do. And as soon as you come out of the pit, you never see him again. But it's just strange how they can save that much fuel. This does not seem like a track that you would have very many opportunities to save fuel. Minus just letting off going into some of these corners, coasting through. This would be a good one to save fuel on. But yeah, it's just some people got the knack for it. Of course, Renner now is going to try to just push as hard as he can, hoping Newhey makes a mistake. Only 12 minutes to go left in the race. Newhey out front, Renner in second, Jeffries, as we're watching, in third. Now is that Nickerson right behind him? Okay, so Nickerson hasn't gained any time on him. Yep. Get off that front stretch. It's going to cost you time. Don't use the pavement. I'm not sure what you mean by the tech guy having PC screen stuttered and tearing. Do we have stuttering and tearing? I hope we don't.
I guess he means Chris.
Well, sometimes when Chris hooks up his rig, funny things happen to his networks. I think sometimes it senses him driving through the wheel. It can sense his fingers and stuff, so it's all kind of glitching. Either that or that's his excuse and he's sticking to it. So you guys got too many different names. Come on, Tim. I do short, easy names. And yes, every time I race, it looks like mental health racing. I'm the only man that can run out of gas twice in one race and then use a completely different strategy in the next race and run out of gas at the exact same spot. That's just skill right there. That's one reason I got the nickname Vapors. He's using the track instead of the green stuff. Rodriguez now jumps in front of Susanna. Susanna now back in front of Rodriguez. Rodriguez gonna have, Susanna touches the grass. Rodriguez has got a lot of momentum. He'll be on the outside of the next corner. Susanna's trying to close him off, take the racing line away. Rodriguez now looking to go on the inside of the hairpin. That is not gonna work for him. Susanna's gonna have a lot of run coming out. Yeah, Rodriguez gonna have to drop back, and he knew he wasn't gonna get a run off of there.
Yeah, but Steve doesn't really need to fight Joan. So, I mean, Steve...
Yeah, you say he doesn't really need to, but Rodriguez is in 8th place and Susanna is in 7th place.
Yeah.
So I don't need to, but yeah, he's one position in front of me, so I got to go get that position. I would say need to, like right there. I don't know why he just let a driver go by, but he did.
No idea.
Who is that in front of him though? Because that wasn't for position. Oh, that's Stevens.
Yeah.
Why did he let Stevens go?
No idea. Because he's
So
definitely
the overall does matter. You want to finish as high up as you can, but these guys are battling for points as far as their class goes. So Rodriguez doesn't need to really do anything. He's got all AM drivers around him. He can drive around in 8th place and finish this race.
Yeah.
He's still going to finish in 5th place in his class.
Yep.
So Rodriguez can let everybody go. He doesn't have to really do anything. As racers, that is hard to do. But one thing you can do is race somebody really clean and really not push the envelope, because it's not that big of a deal if you get around them or if you pass them. You can kind of just, it's sort of more comfortable. Like, I still want to battle, but we can give each other a lot more space than I would if we were fighting for the win. But it looks like, yeah, he's just backing out right now. He knows he can just kind of sit back in 8th place. He's only got 7 more minutes to go just to kind of hang out. Like I said, he will finish 5th in his class. He'll be 8th overall. Right now, Chris Rise is out front. He is going to finish 5th overall, but he will finish 1st in top of the AM class. Lance, I think, is right there behind him. Yep, that's Lance right there. So Lance is doing everything he can right now to run down Chris Rise in 7 minutes. Rise had a big gap. Let's take a look at the gap now, down to 2 seconds. So, yeah, he has gained a lot of time. That gap was 7 seconds when they completed all their stops. And once they rotated back around, both these guys using the front straightaway. Everyone else is kind of doing exactly that for the length of it. I don't know if that's counting against them as far as off track or penalty points or anything like that. But Lance was about 7 seconds behind Rise once they completed all their stops, and now he's only about 2 seconds back. So he's been making some runs up on Rise. Rise, oddly enough, kind of was in the back the whole time. We had a battle between Sierra, Lance, and Susanna, and Rise was just kind of all behind him. We didn't think he was going to catch up, and now all of a sudden, look, he's in front of everybody. Parrot, or both our new guys, Parrot and Caleb, are having a good run, both 9th and 10th overall, respectively. Finished 4th and 5th in the class, so that's going to be a good day for them. Yes. Yeah, Fleming and Sierra. Sierra definitely did not have a great day. He was looking like he had a nice top 5, going even a top 10, but unfortunately, the track won that battle. Yep, Jamie Fleming and... No, that's the Acura, yeah. I would say, you know, you look for, like, I don't know, the hood scoop or the tail lights. The tail lights are pretty easy on that one. But the hood scoop, I mean, the McLaren's got one, the Corvette's got one. It's not helping out. I mean, I don't know, TJ. I mean, if you race with Chris, I mean, he's fast, you know. He'll give you a run for your money. I don't know, you know, can you handle the Friday night lights?
Yeah, and this is still young, so if Tim wants to join this one, he still can join.
Yeah. I mean, you should join, you can. I do believe sign-ups are available. So Alvarez, who has started 2nd place, runoff in turn 1, back to 14th spot, maybe trying to just gain something he can, but he's got to catch up to Fury and Clark. You know, if he at least wants to gain a couple spots as far as the class goes. I mean, that would be, I mean, that's 2 spots. That would gain him a lot of points. So right now, that's what we like to call damage control. You've already had a bad day. Just come away with as many points as you can. Try to do what you can as far as the deficit goes, because right now Newhey, Renner, Jeffries, and Nickerson, they're all going to have a really good points day. So I forget where Alberto was in the points, but that gap just got a lot bigger. Yeah, Newhey has definitely spanked this one away. Oh, that is the worst play. And look at that. He has nowhere to go. He's like, I have more momentum than both of you, and I can't pass anybody. Oh, makes a dive. Is he going to make a stick? Alvarez getting a little racy toward the end of the race. Snags a position away from Fury. He's now up 1 more spot. Setting his sights on Jack Clark. He's got about 2-3 more laps to make something happen. And think the lap times were just under 2 minutes, so they should be able to finish this one. At least one more, possibly another one after that, depending on where they are when the leader crosses the line. And Parrott still trying to stay strong, keep his 10th place going. Alvarez is right there, trying to take that spot from Clark. Seen a few different lines in that corner.
Very different,
Yeah,
different.
some people are staying very tight, and some people are kind of letting it float out there and then driving it back in. I'm not sure if that's something to do with maybe the tires, fuel, or they're just sending it in there. Alvarez looking under Clark, going into the hairpin. Yep, gonna get it done. Alvarez gonna take the spot from Clark. Fury drops back to 15th. So Alvarez has done a little damage control, gained a couple of spots. That's going to be key to his championship hopes. Newhey is taking the white flag right now. 25 seconds up on Renner. Renner's got one more prayer left that he goes in a sand trap for the last lap, and somehow it takes him 25 seconds to get out of there. So Renner is a hoping and a praying. Now it looks like pretty much everybody got pretty spaced out on this one. Great run today by Chris Rise and Terrell Lance in the AM class to be in that top 10. Also Susanna, Parrott, and Caleb. I'll try it again. Joaquin. See if I can say it this time. And then, of course, Rodriguez is he's had a very interesting day. He started up front, went to the back, now back up to mid-pack. I think he's pretty far back behind Lance and Rice, so he's not going to gain that spot. Looks like Newhey has put it together. I can't remember where he started. I know he wasn't on pole. Yeah, P2. So started second. I think Alvy had gotten him, but unfortunately Alvy had an excursion. But yeah, little activity on the track. Nickerson is literally by himself. I'm watching him on the track map right now. He's in the middle of the long back straightaway, and there isn't a car anywhere in sight. And Newhey going to take the victory.
He didn't even wait for him.
That was loud. Got to wait a little while for Mr. Renner to come around, get his second place finish. Yeah. Yes, I get probably like the finish line right when they use for qualifying and stuff. It's weird. So yeah, Newhey is going to be your winner. Ricky Renner will come home in second. And Mr. Jeffries, might as well call him Mr. Jeffries. Yeah, he'll come home in third. Nathan Nickerson making his way to the line. Coming home in fourth position overall and in class. And waiting on Mr. Chris Rise, who, yeah, looks like Lance got a little close. Well, actually, no. He actually pulled away from Terrell Lance. So it looks like, yep, Rise is going to take it from Lance. And Juan Rodriguez will come home in seventh. There's Chris Rise. Well, I'm hoping that was celebrating. Maybe somebody giving him a little shot there or something. Get everybody up in our interview booth. Elder Newhey is your winner. Ricky Renner in second. Michael Jeffries in third. Nathan Nickerson in fourth. Chris Rise, your top AM winner in fifth. Not sure how Juan Rodriguez got in sixth. Terrell Lance might have had a late race penalty or something. Has dropped him down to seventh. Steve Susanna in eighth. Caleb in ninth. And Jamie Fleming in 10th. And Javi Sierra in 11th, which I think is where he started. Somehow, after that whole day, he still comes home 11th. That is crazy. Alberto Alvarez with a massive save from how his race started to come home in 12th. Parrott drops back down to 13th, so doesn't get his top 10 for his first race. Fury in 14th, Jack Clark in 15th, Aaron Sebums in 16th, Joseph Clark in 17th. And who did Joseph beat? Did he beat Chris Ball? I think he did. Congratulations, Joseph. And Morgan Smith in 19th. Tyler Watson in 20th. Looks like Morgan Smith and Tyler Watson did not complete a very good amount of laps. Probably just a handful, I'm assuming. And just waiting on some people to get in the room. So that was an interesting race. I mean, no rain this time.
No rain was nice.
No sun either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been cool to be able to see where we were going.
You know, and I didn't take a shot at the weather this time. I was just gonna leave it to be what it was. I wasn't going to say what it was gonna be, because I was incredibly wrong about that last time. You know, and I didn't take a shot at the weather this time. I was just gonna leave it to be what it was. I wasn't going to. Chris, turn your headset down. I can hear myself telling you stuff. Chris, are you there without me being in the background?
We'll find out in 30 seconds.
Right? Yeah. Just turn that knob all the way down.
Yeah, I mean.
All right. So your race, you kind of started in the back. You went to the front, and then you kind of back to the front. And we didn't think you were really going to catch that little 3-car battle that was happening, but somehow you made your way back up there. So how was your interesting race?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I just downloaded that track today, so that was my first race experience there. So yeah, I'm stoked. My plan was just hang back and hope for chaos, but it was pretty chill race. Everything worked out well. Yeah, the first 2 races I've kind of been jumping the other 2 guys in the pit stop, so that worked out even better this time. I pit a little bit earlier. I think I got out like 8.5 seconds ahead and just barely held out towards the end there. Yeah.
Yeah, he was running you down. You actually pulled out. I think it was the last lap. You actually pulled out a little bit more of a gap. He might have had, like an issue or something, catching a curve. But yeah, we saw it was 7 seconds after the pit stop, and then it started ticking down to about 2 seconds. So he was working on you, but he only had a few minutes to get it done. So he's probably pushing a little hard. But so this race, it didn't seem like you had to really take a lot of fuel. As far as your fuel and tires, did you take all 4 tires, or what'd you do on the strategy?
No tires. Yeah, just fuel.
And just a splash and go, because we saw anything from 13 seconds all the way up to 21 seconds. For each,
I've been trying to stretch the tires is pretty much my strategy. It's I need those extra seconds.
Yeah, I need the extra
I needed
seconds.
them. You see that if I took tires, I wouldn't have had it.
Oh yeah, see, I need the extra seconds, but I need the tires to go get me those extra seconds.
Yeah, try to be clever, and it worked out this time. So yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah, All right, yeah, good run for, like you said, downloading the track just last minute and kind of getting the feel for it. I mean, overall, this is the first time I've seen this track. Did you like it? Did you like the flow of it, or how was it?
Oh yeah, I love this track actually instantly. Yeah, good flow, fast, lots of overtaking opportunities. Yeah, exactly what I like. Older track, rough. It'll it's pretty easy, but if you don't get the turns right, you'll lose a lot of time. So I like
Yeah,
that.
we saw a few corners that looked like they were pretty consistent on giving people some troubles today. So it looked like you avoided most of that. And I mean, just good run, man. That was a interesting race. We really thought you were kind of out of it. You seemed like you sort of just didn't have the pace. And then the other half of the race, you learned the track, and you were like, oh, I got this.
Yep. Hell yeah, man. Thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks for the broadcast too, guys.
Oh
Awesome,
man, no worries. Yeah,
awesome
any
broadcast.
shout outs or anything you want to send out?
No, just shout outs to my new team, Zenith Racing Team. Yeah, just been doing a lot of special events with them. Yeah, having success with them, getting faster, learning with them. So it's
Awesome.
working
Yeah,
out.
we're noticing.
Yeah, and yeah, thanks Envy for putting this on. This is yeah, very pro league here. Love it.
Cool, man.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you next race.
Yep, I see it. Yep.
All right, Mr. Renner. I know
How's it going?
you had a car in your sights, and you were doing some hunting. How'd the hunting trip go?
Oh, not good. Um, it was an eventful day. Wasn't sure I was even gonna race, and decided last minute, you know what? If I don't race, that's a drop round. If I do race, if it goes all right, then we get to keep it. So might as well go ahead and send it. So it worked out.
So, did you have a lot of practice on the track, or did you buy it last
Nah.
minute, stuff like that, or overall, how do you feel about the track?
I know a few people ended up getting it last minute, but I haven't driven this. I drove it once in a league like 3 years ago, and I was looking. I'm like, what track is this?
Yeah.
And then when I started driving it, I'm like, all right, oh yeah, we did race here before. But no, I like the track. It's really fun. I like the way that it flows. It's a slower, really technical track. Um, just what I like. Just a 1 hour race was not what I wanted today. So, but
Yeah.
it worked out.
Did you want the 45 or the 90?
I wanted a 1 lap dash, and that's it. I got
Hey.
some sort of back issue, and like my sciatic nerves jacked up right
Oh,
now. So as I was getting later, I'm like, I knew I wasn't gonna be able to stay
yeah.
up there, but like the deep braking zones and stuff, I'm just like, nope, nope, this isn't it. But we had a good enough gap that I was able just to maintain it. So still P2 is
I,
still one of my best finishes in here, so I'm happy with that.
Right, yeah, lucking out. I've raced pretty sick to the point where I was 2 seconds off the pace, and I ended up just riding around in 13th for a points day.
Yeah,
What a
you
lot of
never know
points,
when
but
you need
hey,
it.
yeah, yeah. So I feel your pain on that, and as a guy who has survived a car wreck and has back issues, yeah, I feel you on the
Yeah,
back stuff.
yeah, dirt bike injuries catching up with me.
Yeah, we're not 20 years old anymore.
No, no.
Well, you got any shout outs or anything you want to send out?
Just a special shout out to my guy Nathan Nickerson out there, P4 tonight. That was an awesome drive by him. He had about 3 laps on the track before practice started, so glad he ended up buying it and racing and sticking it out with me. So nice shout out to him and the whole Next Gen crew and you guys for the broadcast and Envy for putting this series on. It's been awesome.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. And we will see you next week.
Yeah, see you guys then.
All right, Mr. Newhey. So you survived
Yep.
turn 1, lap 1.
Yep.
You got to watch your side-by-side compatriot just go off into the gravel with about 6 other cars. So how
Yeah.
much relief did you have after that?
And I mean, I was lucky to get a good start in lap 1 and already be leading because I knew I didn't have the dominant pace that I had in Monza back in week 1.
Yeah.
Because I mean I just don't know this track well and have practice over it. But I was just leading, and I could manage the pace a little bit. And after a while, I was getting the hang of it. I was like getting some practice in in the middle of the race. So I was getting faster when I should be getting slower because of the tires. But
Well, it seems to be a reoccurring thing with most of the drivers today. We got about 3
yeah,
minutes of practice, and then I figured it out
yeah,
during the
exactly.
race. Which you guys all sound like me, by the way. I just want to point that out. Did you practice? No, I don't even know what track or car we're using. Let's just go.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, you definitely learned the track. As far as the track goes, I guess everybody likes it, maybe because it's just kind of quick to learn, but it seems like it has a really good flow. You really just kind of, I guess, matched with it, or you guys were a good
yeah,
match.
yeah, pretty much. I kind of found the rhythm pretty quickly after a few
Yeah,
laps.
so
But yeah.
I mean, I guess the only other cars you really saw was lap traffic, so you didn't. I don't think you had any real issues today, did you?
I had issues with the quali these both these weeks really. Past week, well, I say week, it was 2 weeks ago, I think. The race two, I got an off track in race two, and race two
Ah,
was just a disaster for me.
yes.
But this one also, I had the wrong setup set for the quali, and it was a Daytona setup, and I was slower, suboptimal in quali, but yeah,
Hey,
we'll
it's
fix
it's
it for
hey,
the
I
race.
know there might be, points on the line as far as like starting position, but it never
Yeah.
where matters where you start, it always matters where you finish, right?
Mm, yeah.
Well, you got any shout outs or anything you want to send out?
I want to shout out Yuan. He helped me with the decals. Because I had no idea how to work this out. I didn't have any idea how to paint. So yeah, shout out to Yuan for helping me putting the decals on for this week. And yeah, shout out to you guys for the broadcast. Thank you.
Awesome, man. No worries. Well, we will
Yeah.
see you next race. Let's see if you can keep
Yep.
your dominant performance going.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Later. Yep. See ya.
See you, boss.
Yep. Thank you. Bye bye.
So that will wrap us up for that round. That was, yeah, we definitely need some like a castle in the background or something. It was like very very Transylvanian, just like where's the werewolf coming out of the bushes. So next round we will be at Zolder, and that race is 90 minutes. So it will be a little bit longer race. And same thing, bit of a surprise. I am not very familiar with that track. And I saw somebody in our chat is got a lobby up for Imola if anybody wants to join it. But this place kind of reminds me of Imola. Like it does seem a little similar to that place. That's kind of a good dynamic for that track. But yeah, I think a lot of drivers like this place today. I mean, especially if you're getting just a little bit of practice and then you just kind of start driving the track and it really comes to you. So it's like one of those easy places you think is easy, and then next thing you know, you're spinning out and hitting the sand and stuff. So we'll see how Zolder treats everybody. The Hockenheim Ring after that, Zandvoort, Hungaroring following that, Algarve International, and then finishing up with Circuit de Barcelona, aka Spain. So it should be an interesting series. The points will definitely get jumbled up today with everybody finishing the way. We might have a couple guys starting to build a lead in the points, but new guys kind of showing up can move the points around. So we'll see where everybody jumbles up to. And then also, we know there's going to be some stewarding after that race. So we'll see what happens with all of that, setting the grid for next time. Of course, everything brought to you by Triple Stint Racing, Coach Dave Academy, and also SimGrid, always bringing all the ENVY Simsports series together. Last time, especially with the American series, a lot of sunny skies. This time with the European, we're seeing a lot of foggy skies and rainy conditions. So we'll see what happens in the next round. They got 90 minutes. So yeah, just, I guess if you're racing, keep your fingers crossed. If you're watching, then yeah, I have no idea what to tell you. It's just going to be something. I am Fry over there with my chiseled chin, looking all like masterpiece and stuff. Thanks Pix for that. Also, I do like my hairline though. I actually have somewhat of hair. That is Pix, and of course a special thanks always to Mr. Eton for allowing us to do this and have some fun and bring everyone this great racing. So don't forget, join us next Friday for ENVY Sports GT Sprint Series European Challenge. Thanks everybody. See you next time.
Bye. Are you looking for professional broadcasting on a budget? How about broadcast with colorful commentary, guest commentators, and after-race interviews? Do your league branding and social media graphics need a facelift? Custom results and series graphics looking like a 5th grader did them? Event organization taking up way too much of your time? Engage GTCtv and let us help you show the world your events.